Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Pedro Jimeno may have fallen for Chantel Everett while filming the 90-Day Fiance franchise, but he proved over time in the family Chantel he was only ever interested in her for a green card. The tumultuous couple was first introduced in 90-Day Fiance Season 4. Pedro, from the Dominican Republic, met Chantel, an American woman, online. After they developed a relationship, Chantel brought Pedro to the United States, where they quickly got married. However, Chantel's family never trusted Pedro, especially her mother, Karen Everett. The final chapter of the Family Chantel Season 5 aired at the end of 2023. But Pedro and Chantel's messy storyline is far from over. Pedro and Chantel filed for divorce, and Pedro seems to be living his best life in 2024. The realtor is based in Atlanta, Georgia, and amid cheating allegations, still works for Laura Delgado Realty Group. While he denied the accusations, Pedro's potential infidelity was the last straw for Chantel. Here's why Pedro always had an ulterior motive for his marriage to Chantel. Pedro's reaction to Chantel failing her nursing exam was a red flag and indicated his desire to rely on Chantel in the United States. He wasn't emotionally supportive when Chantel failed her test, adding unnecessary tension to their strained relationship. Pedro was hard on Chantel and felt her failure reflected a lack of seriousness and dedication to becoming a practicing nurse. Their marriage was already on the rocks, but this may have been an indication that Pedro never really cared about Chantel. In the episode of The Family Chantel where Chantel failed her exam, Pedro criticized her for not prioritizing her nursing career and focused on the money she needed to bring in. Pedro didn't care about how she might feel and only pointed out their financial issues brought about by her failure. He was completely self-absorbed and didn't care about Chantel's feelings. Pedro and his inflated ego always had a plan in the United States, and Chantel's failure messed it up for him. According to Toronto City News, Pedro felt the show made him look bad. When asked about the accusations that Pedro used Chantel for a green card, he vehemently denied the allegations. "People need to understand I've been here for almost 7 years already. If I wanted a green card, if I wanted a visa, I would have broken up after the first 3 years and be free. I believed in the marriage for that long, and in the end, everybody grow apart." Pedro vehemently claims he's not a user, but the facts tell a different story. "People need to understand I've been here for almost 7 years already. If I wanted a green card, if I wanted a visa, I would have broken up after the first 3 years and be free. I believed in the marriage for that long, and in the end, everybody grow apart." Pedro happily married Chantel and moved to the United States, but he never showed interest in getting to know her family despite their closeness. Additionally, he focused on his personal goals rather than his marriage to Chantel, prioritizing bringing his mother, Lydia Morel, and sister, Nicole Jimeno, to the United States. Pedro also wasted no time building his career while neglecting Chantel's emotions. Ambition isn't a crime, but Pedro immediately lost interest in Chantel once he arrived in the United States. He only stayed with her for years to have an excuse for his behavior. Instead of using his real estate ambitions to contribute to his life with Chantel, Pedro squandered his money on his mother and sister. While loyalty to and support of family are noble traits, something felt off about giving income to Lydia and Nicole. It seemed like his mother and sister mattered more to him than his wife, who earnestly wanted to support them with his income in the United States. Pedro showed his love and care for his family while also neglecting his marriage to Chantel, suggesting she was just part of a larger plan to support his mother. To Lydia and Nicole made it seem like there was always a plan for him to leave Chantel. Once Pedro had his green card in the United States, he got to work sending money to his family and supporting them financially. While Karen Everett could sometimes be harsh, she wasn't wrong in questioning Pedro's motives. by putting his plan into motion immediately. It seemed like Pedro always had ulterior motives for marrying Chantel. Chantel believes that Pedro cheated on her, though he vehemently denies the accusations. In May 2022, Chantel filed for divorce, citing adultery and cruel treatment as the reasons for their separation. In addition to accusing Pedro of domestic violence, Chantel believed Pedro was having an affair with his coworker at Laura Delgado Realty Group, Antonella Baronecci-Strulli. Chantel wasn't a fan of Pedro's close friendship with Antonella, giving her rides to work and staying out late with his coworkers. While Pedro denied the rumors, he was later accused of cheating on Chantel with his boss, Laura, which he also denied. It's unclear whether Pedro ever cheated with Laura or Antonella, but Chantel was convinced of his infidelity. Given his disinterest in their marriage and priority on the real estate agency, it wouldn't be a surprise if he cheated. It's also further proof of his plan to use Chantel for a green card. Pedro doesn't seem to miss Chantel and is thriving without her. On his Instagram, Pedro is grinning and joking around, even posting funny real estate videos to get more business. In a recent photo, Pedro cut together a video of a baby spitting milk into his coffee cup, launching into a pitch in Spanish for his realtor services. The videos are pretty funny and prove his happiness after leaving Chantel. When he's not advertising his business, Pedro is showing off his weight loss, evidenced by his many social media posts. Pedro seems sick of Chantel for years. She tried to force him to remain interested and invested in their marriage, but he was ready to move on. Given his social media presence, it seems he's elated to be free of her, and it's almost like a weight has been lifted. He got his green card and got out. Pedro was notoriously greedy in the family Chantel, and Karen was right to say he was harvesting the American dollar. Chantel's family, especially Karen, always had suspicions that Pedro's ultimate goal was to accumulate wealth in the United States while sending money to his family in the Dominican Republic and leaving Chantel once he achieved independence. While Pedro claims he wanted to make his marriage to Chantel work, it seems Karen's argument could be true. Pedro's ambition is admirable, but career success at the expense of marital bliss is further evidence he used Chantel for a green card and never loved her. Pedro only seemed to support Chantel's goal to become a nurse so she would make money, not because she would feel a sense of purpose and self-worth. Additionally, he prioritized his time at the real estate agency over his marriage to Chantel, prompting her accusations of infidelity and further breaking down their marriage. Money was the only thing that mattered to Pedro, and coming to the United States was the right move. One of the most shocking disagreements in the family Chantel as Pedro and Chantel navigated divorce was Pedro's desire to use his real estate prowess to sell their marital home. He believed that selling the house was a practical step, especially as their marriage was crumbling. Pedro argued that selling the home would allow them to divide the assets and move on with their lives separately. Chantel, on the other hand, was emotionally attached to the house and hesitant about selling it as it symbolized their life together and the efforts they had put into building their marriage. The disagreement over the house was not just about the property itself, but also their differing perspectives on their relationship. Chantel truly loved Pedro, but he only ever cared about himself. Pedro always puts business above family.